Hey YouTube, Tadowski here. The last two videos we were talking about Phasmophobia ghosts and the actual folklore behind them. We focused primarily on the Japanese folklore, and that covered roughly about 8-9 ghosts altogether. And I thought we would have had the Japanese Asian ghosts kind of wrapped up in a nutshell, but that's not the case. Out of all the ghosts in Phasmophobia, those are the ones primarily from Asia, distinctively from Japanese folklore. However, there's one more ghost in that list that comes from the Asian continent, and that is a Hantu. Now, a Hantu, it's actually a Malaysian folklore, so it's a Southeast Asian belief. The word Hantu in Malaysian folklore just means ghost. It's a general term used to describe any and all supernatural beings. Anything from demons to angels to human ghosts to anything that might happen in the world. They always use the word Hantu. There is an extremely large amount of variations in their culture. It all stemmed from prehistoric times where they used the word or ghost to describe anything that might happen, whether it be thunderstorms or droughts or fertility, anything of that sort of nature. They always prayed to a Hantu. And see, for them, Hantu could also mean God, or it could mean demon, or whatever. But over the course of time, traditional beliefs started to alter and merge with other cultures as trade routes became available. You see, Malaysia and Southeast Asia primarily became a big trade route for China and India. So Buddhism and Hinduism became huge influences in the region, and they sort of started to do a melting pot of them. And also, as time went on, the Middle Eastern Muslim beliefs started to incorporate into it as well. So now the word Hantu has an even broader meaning. So they adopted the same sort of spirits and angels and things like that believed from Hinduism and Buddhism and Muslim religions and mutated it into their own belief system. So that is why the word Hantu has such a broad meaning and is just the complete umbrella term for every sort of supernatural belief, being, event, anything. Traditional lore for human spirits they believe that the human soul is actually about the size of a thumb, and it looks like a miniature version of you, and it's inside your body. And they believe that when you sleep or you go into a trance or you become very sick, the soul can leave the body and float around and fly from place to place. They describe it very similar like a bird, where it can fly really quickly to different places and areas. They believe that when a person dies, the soul departs permanently. And so what it does at this point is it's still that little miniature form, but it becomes a sort of homoculous. And if you don't know what that word means, a homoculous is just a very small miniature form of a human being. So it's the same thing as what they describe, only it's actually got a physical form where it walks around and can grab stuff. Now, when it becomes this homoculous, it can do some damage and harm to the living. They believe that sometimes it can feed off the souls of other people, and that's why these sort of beings are very dangerous. In this time frame, they believe, an old belief would be that the Hantu, or the spirit, can haunt the person's grave for about 7 days after the person passed. And in that time frame, it could take possession of another living person or plant or animal, and it can cause madness and illness in these people. They also believe that souls usually pass into another being, whether it's a person, animal, or plant. And while it does this, it can continue to linger on and may cause harm, or it may continue to live on for the rest of its period. With it being such a broad term, the Hantu can be anything from extremely passive to all the way to malevolent, to where it can cause mass damage and harm. It all depends on the type of Hantu it is and the type of personality it has. Some examples of various Hantus believed in Malaysian folklore, since there's tons of them. There's the Hantu air, which is the spirit in the water. There's the Hantu Baruk, which is the ape demon. There's Hantu Puska, which is the grave demon. But basically, it can mean anything from spirit of this to a vampire to the devil himself. I mean, the word is such a broad stroke of the pen. That is what is the main takeaway from what a Hantu is. So in Phasmophobia, a Hantu can technically be whatever they want, because it is just a term for ghost, which is very interesting and very smart on their half, because they can make it be whatever they want. So good job, Phasmophobia. Good job. But with that being said, I hope you learned something from it. We're just going to make this a short one so we can wrap up the Asia folklore in Phasmophobia before we move on to the more Western beliefs, which would include the rest of the ghosts. And a lot of them are from European cultures, so we will discuss that in the next video. So it's going to be a short video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Remember, if you like it, please like the video. If you subscribe, you'll get more content, whether it's educational or reviews. And remember, be safe out there.